On behalf of all of us, we want to thank you for your support for Break the Silence Long Beach, which is a domestic violence awareness campaign that will be held next Friday, October 19th. Domestic violence is a serious issue in our community in that 3 women every day are murdered because of domestic violence. We encourage the Long Beach community to join us next Friday by wearing purple, like many of us are here today, and are wearing a purple ribbon to break the silence in our Long Beach community. The color purple and the purple ribbon are adopted as symbols to raise awareness on domestic violence, to remember victims who have lost their lives, and honor survivors of domestic violence. In our city of Long Beach, we are very proud to be able to offer the most comprehensive support to victims of domestic violence, as well as pioneering prevention efforts through our united efforts. We are truly working together as a community and leading efforts in the field of domestic violence on the state and national level. And we're deeply honored to have this recognition from our wonderful city council and from our community leaders. So thank you for your support for Break the Silence Long Beach, and we hope that you will join us on the 19th and wear purple. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Before, we have a couple members that want to say a few things, but also, just Sharon, just on behalf of the entire city, you guys have been just phenomenal. Not just your group, but individually, all the organizations that you represent. I also have to give a special recognition to Dr. Cavanis, who is actually one of my former student advisors and advocates at Cal State Long Beach when I was a student, and she was one of the very first people that kind of opened this idea of leadership and some of those things to me. So thank you for your work. And I have a couple members that'd like to say a few things. Councilmember Lowenthal.
Thank you. How are you? Wanted to thank you for coming here year after year. Many thanks to our friends from the domestic violence victims advocacy community for raising awareness about this very destructive and somewhat hidden menace in our community. And certainly my colleagues, as you know, with the collaboration and planning of our friends in the domestic violence community, Long Beach will have a family justice center space inside our new courthouse, offering resources to victims of domestic violence in a safe and secure location. I want to thank each of you for helping bring that to fruition. I know we've been in discussions with the courthouse and the presiding judge for over a year.
And it wouldn't have happened without you.
I appreciate that, but really I think it's because all of you are so committed that it seems like the next most logical step for us to take. And truly it's really just to answer a need that we have here in our community. It's not to be like any other community, but really more unique and special so we can serve our residents here. Domestic violence tears at the fabric of communities by weakening family structures. You articulated that so well, and it passes down from generation to generation, the dysfunctional and abusive approaches to relationships. So, as we might expect, children tend to emulate what they see in their home, and what we've learned, and certainly from all the work that you've done, is that juvenile delinquents, violent juvenile delinquency, they're 4 times more likely than other youths to come from abusive homes. And I know you see this play out every day in the work that you do, and certainly this is something that affects our entire community here. The damage from DV stretches beyond social structure, affecting school attendance and achievement, workforce productivity and sick time, and healthy pregnancies. And so I don't know that there is a single one of us that can be without impact when this happens to any one of us. It should go without saying, but if anyone in the audience or watching at home is experiencing physical, verbal, or mental abuse in their household, you need to know it's certainly not okay. It's not part of any normal relationship, and it's certainly not one of those sacrifices you must make to keep your family together. And it's certainly not your fault. So I'd like to encourage everyone to call Long Beach Domestic Violence Resource Center, should you need, at 562-437-7233, or the LA County hotline at 800-978-3600 to learn more about your options. And I know we'll have that down on our flyers as well. And hearty thank you for all of your work and your efforts.
Thank you. Councilmember Shipsky.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. And I want to thank all of you. Mercedes, you should be up here in this lineup too. This woman has been able to maintain a domestic violence legal aid clinic for so many years, more than some of us would like to mention. You know, when we started the Women's Police Advisory Committee in the 80s, we thought hopefully we would only need it for a little while, and that domestic violence would go away because of the strong commitment of our police department and the community to make sure that it was an issue that was no longer hidden, because that was the biggest problem we saw in the community. It was something people didn't want to talk about, people didn't want to get involved with when they saw it, and because of the persistence of people like you and legal aid and the Women's Shelter Interval House, the Rape Crisis Hotline got involved, and our police department stepped up and said, this is something that we really think is important, and you've made it important, and that's the way that we can grapple with this. As Councilwoman Lowenthal just mentioned, the issue is the impact on the family, and that's the other, I guess, genesis of what's been done in domestic violence. Originally, the focus was on the victim, which is now, as we understand it, is a survivor. But we've expanded that to understand the dynamics of the impact of this horrible, horrible public health problem. It's not just a crime, it's a public health problem, and its impact on the family system. So I salute you. I'm hoping someday we don't have to have a domestic violence awareness month or week or some, or event where we have to point this out in our society. And I think you may see that in your lifetime. I think because of the hard work, especially of the younger generation who really has said, this isn't going to work. We're not going to tolerate it. We don't think it's acceptable in relationships or within the family system. And so I want to thank you. I also want to give a particular thank you to the police department, who has just stepped up over the years to really put this front and center as an important issue that had to be dealt with, both within the criminal justice system, but also in policing generally. And I thank you very much. And again, thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Council Member. And I'm going to have the proclamation for you, but I'm also going to ask both Council Members Lowenthal and Shipsky to maybe join me up front. I know you've both been very involved in the issue and are very passionate about it for the proclamation and the picture.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we're now moving on to our next proclamation, which is declaring October as Disability Awareness Month. I'd like to bring up to the podium at this time Mr. Richard Hernandez, who's the chair of the Citizens Advisory Commission on Disabilities, to say a few words, and then I also have a proclamation as well. Mr. Hernandez, thank you.
I'd like to thank the Vice Mayor, City Council members for this opportunity. I know I'm very passionate about Disability Awareness Month celebration. I know you all are. Every state has different opinions, but I want to say that Long Beach is one of the leaders in declaring the October Disability Employment Awareness Month celebration. So I would like to thank the Vice Mayor as well, and also the City Council members. And also, I want to invite all of you to attend Disability Employment Awareness Month celebration, which we're happy that this year is going to be at the Long Beach Convention Center on October the 22nd from 11 to 3 o'clock. And I also want to thank my fellow commissioners who came to support me, Mary Sendejas, Charlene, Shirley, and also George. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you. And certainly National Disability Employment Awareness Month is something that we're proud of to share with you guys. And I have to also point out, of course, that our good friend Mary is also Miss Wheelchair California as well. So it's great that you're also on as part of this group. So I'll come forward, and if maybe you guys all want to join us, and we'll do the certificate presentation. So thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.
Andy, there's one more wheelchair behind you. Andy.
You just had that point. Thank you again. We have one final presentation tonight, and this is in celebration of our Long Beach Search and Rescue's 50th anniversary, which is very exciting. And for this, I'm actually going to turn over the presentation to Councilmember O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Mayor. And this is maybe the final presentation, but it for sure is a very important presentation. And can we have you fine gentlemen come on down and just kind of line up, if you would. Our Long Beach Search and Rescue team, and this certainly is not the complete team. It is a large team. And we're going to talk about them tonight because they're a very important function in our city, and they're a bunch of great people that do good work. Tonight we have the honor of recognizing Long Beach Search and Rescue, an organization that has been serving our community for over 50 years and is celebrating its obviously 50th anniversary. Long Beach Search and Rescue is an organization that assists our first responders during major events that require significant manpower and womenpower. They are on call and assist in events such as major disasters, SWAT callouts, and other events across our region. They don't just perform functions in the city of Long Beach, they actually go outside the city of Long Beach on occasion as well. The members are between the ages of 15 and 21 and receive training in an academy-type format from a volunteer command staff that is made up of local public safety professionals, many of whom were once search and rescue members themselves. In fact, many of them were out there at your open house on Saturday. A bunch of guys from our department, police and fire. Actually, there was one gentleman from San Gabriel Valley who was on your, very involved in your organization in high school. So across our region, there are individuals involved. In fact, one of your instructors was from LA City Fire Department. In fact, I saw his uniform there that he was wearing, kind of guiding the team to perform some safety maneuvers out there. This program serves as a pathway to a career in public safety. The organization is housed at the Fire Academy next to Fire Station 17, just off Stearns and Argonne there. They held a wonderful 50th anniversary celebration, and it was actually an open house as well last week, and I believe they do it every year. I know I've gone several times, and each year I enjoy it more, and I'm very impressed. There were many past members present, and many of whom are now local public safety professionals. Again, this is a volunteer organization that serves our city and region and saves us money by providing trained and very capable manpower. Very disciplined. You guys do a great job of training the young ones using your skills that you you've learned on the job and trading them down. I think that's great. And I believe the number of volunteer hours cited Saturdays was 850,000 over the last 50 years. So tonight we recognize Long Beach Search and Rescue for their service to our city and our region, and for providing youth the opportunity to give back and explore public safety career opportunities. With us tonight is Officer Dick Johansson, who I believe 50 years ago helped start this fine organization. So congratulations to you, sir. What fine work you've done. And we have some others who can introduce themselves. Sergeant Kistner, if you'd like to step up to the microphone. But I just want to say that you guys, again, I want to underline you do a lot of work. You meet Tuesday nights, it's all volunteer. Yeah, you get some donations from a variety of organizations, and you use those and produce a lot of good kids, a lot of trained people, and a lot of good for our community. So Long Beach Search and Rescue, thank you for 50 years of service to the city of Long Beach. Can we give them a hand? These are good people.
Honorable Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, Councilman O'Donnell, thank you very much for those kind words. 50 years, 5 decades of volunteer service, and some of these people back here have been with us those entire 50 years, and they're still very active with us today. Over 1,200 people have come through our program, a very successful program in helping young people explore career possibilities and give them a chance to give back to their community as well. And just like to say that it's not just on those 1,200 people that have made the unit what it is today. We couldn't have done it without the backing of the city officials, and our sponsors, the Long Beach Police Motor Patrol Association and the associations of the Long Beach Firefighters. Thank you, sir.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks to everybody. Sure. Let's give them a round of applause for all their hard work. This time I'd like to open up the meeting for any public comment, and we have 3 members of the public on the speakers list. I'll start off with Mr. Larry Goodhue. And after Mr. Goodhue will be Mr. Dave Pillen, and then Ms. Shirley Roussard. Larry, go ahead.
My name is Larry Goodhue, clerk has the address. Number of housekeeping items. Number 1, sandwiched between Council District 3 and Council District 1, the weekly flea market still has their flea market sign up there 7 days, appears to be 7 days a week. They tried to sneak that in down to the one in the Marine Stadium on a 7-day-a-week basis, and that was they're certainly allowed to put it up the day of the event, but not leave it up 7 days. That needs to come down. Also, a technical note, I noticed coming in today at Broadway and Cherry on the southeast side, way above 15 feet up on the telephone pole, some divorce attorney from San Fernando Valley has advertisement up there. The city needs to get somebody out there and divorce that attorney from some money, get that sign down. I want to talk now also on the about Belmont Shore and a signage issue on a new store that was put in next to where the Chase Bank now is. It has a very nice professional sign on the front, but the entire west side of the building, which is just painted gray, has a hand-painted sign. Very unprofessional, in my view. It invites problems. Last Sunday was down at Fashion Island, or last Tuesday at Fashion Island. I spent a lot of time up in Beverly Hills, and I have yet to see a hand-painted sign on a wall. It's not conducive, because art is subjective, and the next person comes down and put some